Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Good evening, Roger. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. So, we're going to be taking a look at another of the Cypher System supplements. This is a brand new book. We are going to be taking a look at the Cypher System Bestiary. There are over 125 awe-inspiring creatures for us to discover. And I will say right off the bat, this is a fantastic book. I am really impressed with it. And the reason for that is, of course, well, every role-play game system typically has a bestiary of some description. It's either part of the GM book, or if there are sufficient creatures, it has its own unique book. I've just never seen one presented in such an amazing style as this one. So, spoilers, I'm already really impressed, very excited to share it with you. I'm doing well, Roger, thank you. Let's jump to the table then and take a look at this book. So, here we go. This is it. Straight away, the artwork, it reminds me of a very old Star Trek episode. I think it's called The Menagerie, and the Seth MacFarlane sort of show, the Orville, did a kind of homage to that one. The idea of having this intergalactic, you know, museum of animals, and I like that sort of style that is here on this book. Is this some kind of alien looking at all the different creatures that they have collected from throughout the galaxy, from throughout the different multiverse? Would that be the most ultimate zoo in existence? And I guess that's what this book is, isn't it? It's a collection of all the different creatures and monsters that you might find across all the multitude of different settings that you can use the Cypher system for. So let's jump on in. We'll just take a quick look at the back here. So, as it says, mystifying, frighten, and challenge your PCs with this stunningly illustrated collection that gives you an almost infinite array of encounters. Dozens and dozens of inspiring creatures, familiar and new, are detailed within these pages, along with oodles of variants and customization options. Alright, I like the sound of that. Let's take a look. Okay, of course, we've become accustomed to the Monte Cook Games, haven't we? And the books they produce and just the amazing quality of the artwork and the presentation. This is a very easy book for you to go through. A quick introduction, just explaining how the book is laid out. And then, as you can see on this page, it details the creatures by level. So you have a quick reference to be able to take a look at a particular level, look at the types of creatures that are available, and then jump to that particular page. And then the book itself is divided into different genres. So we're starting with fantasy. It gives you a little bit of an overview. And then it details what creatures are included. So what do we have? We have dragons, elves, dwarves, adventurers, goblins, elementals, wizards, wraiths, orcs, trolls, and giants. But then it does say we have related creatures in other sections, so it can pull from the different genres. It's tried to be logical in its ordering. So what do we else have? We have ghosts and things, demons, vampires, werebeasts, fairies, satyrs, unicorns, witches, assassins, zombies, cursed beasts, forgeborn, and ghost riders. Alright, interesting. the bestiary doesn't just focus purely on creatures, it tries to present other hooks for games masters to use within their adventures and campaigns. So we have a little section here, epic quests. What must our brave heroes do to save others, achieve glory, survive and or thrive? And we've just got a quick simple D20 table. Roger, do you want to give me a number from 1 to 20? Let's see what our adventurers must try to accomplish. As a quick random example. Below it, as you're typing that in, we've got magical talismans. And again, it works in a similar style. 15. Defeat the rising tide of undead, led by a powerful undead lord. That sounds familiar to me. It sounds like the finger of adventures. And how about a talisman to aid us? Again, out of 20. What might we use? Let's see what the gods bestow upon us. 19. A cloak of shadows. So there we go. We have to defeat an undead lord and their minions, and we have a cloak of shadows. So that gives us a little bit of an overview to fantasy, and then we delve on in to typical creatures that we may find. We have details here on a dragon. We then have, again, it breaks it down even further, the essence of dragons. So just to give you an idea of what would the typical dragon be all about. Dragons are exceptionally territorial, vain and greedy. Apex predators, dragons must eat large meals on a regular basis unless sleeping in their lair. They love games of all sorts, especially when they get to consume the loser. Drawn to wealth and magic, dragons accumulate treasure hoards. And the good thing about this is it does have words highlighted, to which in the side margin here, pages to go to for more information. Of course, there is a PDF version of the book available from the Monte Cook Games website, so you can use those as hyperlinks to then take you immediately to that page. Do you want to give me a number from 1 to 10? And let's get an idea of what kind of personality our dragon might have. While you're doing that, there's a little section on breath options. Be that fire or cold, electricity, acid, radioactivity, necrotic energy, or portals. So you can see already it's giving us variants to our dragon. The actual stat block here gives us a health of 45, damage inflicted is 10 points, armor is 3, movement short, long while flying, modifications, perception and riddles as level 8, speed defense as a level 6 due to size, and then combat, giving us different combat options. You've said a 9, a noble protector of a child, small community, or true heir in hiding. That's interesting. In fact, that reminds me of a recent film that was on Netflix about a dragon protecting its lair. So we then go on to some variants, some dragon variants. Wyrims, elder dragons. So we had the sort of basic information, now we're getting these variants. But this is something that I really, really like, is it's not just about the creature, we're then looking at an example lair for our adventurers to be able to explore. So this bestiary is really, you know, it's doing a deep dive into these creatures and exploring sort of all the major facets and giving just GMs as many tools as they possibly can. What do we have? We have the mountain top ledge as we come on in. We have a precipitous drop of 100 feet. We have a cave of spiders. We have the landing. We have a false horde, secret tunnels. There is a nursery for hatchlings. We've got... what's the 7? Where's the 7? 7777. The Grand Chamber with a river of magma. And then, of course, we have the Dragon's Hoard at the end. So it's a great little map. Great ideas. What might we find in the Dragon's Hoard? Let's have another number between 1 and 10. What might we find? It talks a little bit about dragon desolation. Some dragons destroy everything around their lair, burning down forests, razing cities and killing all life. In a diameter dozens of miles across, creating a zone of security through which would-be dragon slayers must first pass and potentially be noticed by the dragon. Another 4. So what we're going to find in the lair, a thief's key. Opens locks of its level or less with a touch. That's a pretty nifty piece of loot that we have found. Oh my goodness, we have a section Dragon Names. And I'm looking across and I can't say any of these names. Only one. Smour the Bloodwinged. I will leave it at that. End on a win. Yep. There's none of those word names I can say. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be funny. I will attempt. I will see how many names out of this book I can say with confidence. Okay, elves. Elves are a classic of all fantasy genres, aren't they? So again, it follows the similar format, but of course it's unique to this particular race. We do have elf names. We'll come back to that. Tells us a little bit about the essence of elves. So if you was not sure what an elf was, there's a little paragraph there just to give you an idea, so you have an understanding as a GM of how you might play an elf NPC. But it does talk about lays, and lays are well, let's just get this right. Lays are, because again there is a little call out just here. Lays are epic lyric poems describing important historical events. Okay, we need a number from 1 to 6, please, Roger. So, a line from an elven song or lay. Sometimes a few words of elven song are carried from afar, even if the singers are not yet seen through woods or meadows. So maybe our adventurers are wandering through a great forest and hear this particular line of song on the wind. On starlit shores, in silvered glades, lovers embrace. Okay. Interesting, interesting. We have a little bit on elven magic. Maybe we'll come back to the elf. Well, actually, no. We've got just 2 pages on this on elves, so we have to tackle the elf names. I'm having a look here. Oh gosh. Carathorn, Melissa, Halion, Duriel. Oh, I'm actually not too bad at El Rolas, Elar, Rosewin. Hey, there we go. I found my calling. I can say elvish names. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Dwarves, and it's finally this bestiary quashes the rumours that there is no such thing as female dwarves, or that they do indeed look so close to male dwarves. Gimli didn't know what he was talking about. So, dwarves delving beneath hill and mountain. Dwarves are master miners and smiths, warriors and grudge holders. Okay, so again we get a little table. A number from 1 to 10, please. This is dwarf beards or braids. What does the dwarf's beard or braid look like? Unless noted otherwise, most beards extend to mid-chest or further, while hair braids dangle past the buttocks. So, let's find out. 6. Shorn clean away, leaving a bald chin and or head. So, I'm thinking we're going to go for... I think my dwarf character would definitely have a beard. So we're going to go for a bald or a shorn clean head. Dwarf stonework traps and dwarven treasure. A number from 1 to 6. Are we going for a traditional dwarf look there, Roger? I think we would be, wouldn't we, eh? I'm afraid I'm so long in the tooth that all my dwarves need to look like Gimli. There's only Gimli. Gimli's the only dwarf ever. 2. Shield of the Dwarf Mother, a level 7 artifact. Eases speed defense rolls and defense rolls against magical attacks by 2 steps. Let's find out if I'm as good with my dwarf names. Haldora, Maulbreaker. Grimelda, Vilda, Golden Braid. Haldarin the Hammer. Zenkir the Halfkeeper. There you go, there's a few. Adventurers. So these are just those that we meet on the road. Adventurers want a change, excitement, wealth and prestige, or revenge. So, do you want to give me a number out of 20 and a number out of 10? What do we have here? The essence of an adventurer. Some fall into the life accidentally, fleeing a threat, misunderstanding an invitation, or trying to help others. A lone adventurer might become an ally, but if a group is encountered, potentially rivals. In fact, an adventurer is not to be trusted without good cause. Adventurers operate in lawless regions where wealth can be obtained at the edge of a sword. So a 3 out of the 10. What's out of the 20? Or is that the 5? Yeah, okay, 5. So here we go. Memorable attributes. So some adventurers stand out for the crowd. Our adventurer wears shaggy orange-furred hides that are somewhat smelly. Okay. Adventurer's advantage. A given adventurer might seem unmatched until they revealed their advantage. In some cases, the advantage serves as loot if the adventurer is defeated and they didn't use it. And you're saying a 3 releases a bound demon from a tattoo to attack or defend as needed. Wow. We possibly shouldn't have commented on this adventurer's somewhat smelly orange-furred hides, should we? Okay. Goblins. What fantasy realm would not be complete without some goblins? But this is the first example in the book where there are actually fold-out pages. So let's take a look. So we have, again, another lair to discover. We have this basic goblin lair, but it goes into so much detail. There are goblin traps, goblin loot, goblin activity, tactics for the goblins, allies for goblins. Going back, we have details just on the goblin race as is. A beautiful piece of artwork. I think you will pick up that the artwork throughout the book is really of such a high standard. Let's find out what loot we're going to find in the goblin lair. A number from 1 to 20, please. But I love all these lairs that are in the book. Great little examples for the GM to take. So you could pretty much just run this straight away. 9. A fabulous hat with red and gold feathers. Well, there we go. Who doesn't want a good hat? Okay. Moving on. Let's get back here. Elementals. Different types. Fire, earth, water, air, lightning, ice, and thunder. And again, more tables to roll on, detailing its shape and activity. And then, of course, we do go into detail onto each of the different kind of elemental that our players may face. Again, artwork is just great. Wizards. There's always a wizard. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives exactly when he intends to. Spells, wizard names. Can I do any of these? Aganon. Lagos de Leicester. Balu of the Yellow College. Evrin the Enchanter. Wraiths. They don't have a section for... Oh, they do! They do! I was going to be quick. I was too quick then. I was going to say they don't have a section for Wraith names, but they do. Oh. Nagmar the Silent. Zuramoth the Fallen. Eswarhill Neckbreaker. Renulmar the Hellrider. And we have the variant of a Wraith Lord. Orcs. And Orc Veterans. Orc names. Gulgor. Orfmog. Suku. Clomog. Gezbad. You know, hopefully I'm not insulting any of our orcish viewers. Trolls. Oh, let's have a number from 1 to 10, please. Troll appearance. Thanks to the runaway regenerative abilities of these 10-foot plus tall brutes, a particular troll may have a standout feature. So what does our troll have? 7. Ragged clumps of feathers, mottled hide. Got feathers on its hide. Very different. We then have giants, and again we have another fold out with another lair, a giant's lair. We have tables on pets on a giant's motive. Oh, that's a good one. Loot in a giant's bag. Let's have a number out of 100 and a number out of 10. Let's have 2 of those. Let's see what we might find in the giant's bag and what the giant's motives are. Again, I like the lair. Oh gosh, the playroom. Bones of playmates. So 29 out of 100. What we're going to find in the bag? What's in the bag? There's a rolled up portal to hell. That's not what we want. And as for the giant's motive, to be left undisturbed in their claimed territory or castle, to farm and hunt as they choose. So leave this giant alone. We'll be okay. So there you go. That was everything in the fantasy section, because we're moving on to horror. Horror is one of the genres we've not actually looked at when we have been looking at the white books. Spoilers. Horror is the next genre for us to take a look at. So what do we have that we in the horror genre? We've got ghosts, serial killers, things, demons, haunted houses, vampires, werebeasts, and killer toys. Yes, you like that they separate the categories. Yes, I guess it's easy then for the GM to go and find appropriate creatures, but again, there are creatures in other sections that might also be suitable. So it suggests that wraiths, witches, robots, aliens, monstrous supervillains, rad beasts, cannibals, zombies, cursed beasts, strange folk, and ghost riders would all be suitable within a horror setting. So it is quite cool that we've got some kind of order, because you need to order it in some way. So this seems logical. But of course, you can go and take a look at creatures in other areas and then just slightly retool them for the genre you're playing. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's just scare ourselves a little bit. Can you give me 2 numbers from 1 to 20, please? I like these initial pages in the genre. It just gets you thinking about it and adds a few little extra elements for the GM to use. Little inspirational points or something that they can play on the players. Again, it's presenting a bestiary, but it's a bestiary plus, isn't it? Because it's not just the creatures, it's everything around them and also the genre that they are within. And I think this is a really, really clever way of dealing with a subject or a book, that has been done to death. 2 numbers, please, Roger, out of 20. We just need, we're going to scare ourselves a little bit. As it says, if you're looking for general horror inspiration, use the following tables to generate the outlines of a horror scenario. Then add in 1 or 2 creatures from this book. Horror scenarios include a creepy premise, a few jump scares, and a creature that must be defeated. Alright, so 9. Pale faces peering into homes by night set the neighborhood on edge. We have somebody lurking around, so we're in a suburban district somewhere. Maybe it's a modern day setting, scaring people. Maybe it's a typical college kids having a bit of a party, or maybe the parents are away for the weekend. It's that sort of setting. So some jump scares. 14. Door slams open or shut by itself. Has somebody got into the house? So who might that be? Well, we have ghosts, of course. Could be a ghost. So we have a breakdown of the initial interaction with the ghost and then initial manifestation. Oh my goodness. I didn't actually expect this to go into so much detail, because then we have the ghost's motive or unfinished business. We do have ghost names. Ghosts have to have names as well. Haunted locations. Who were the ghosts before they died? Oh my gosh. A number from 1 to 100, please. Wow, so this is actually really cool. There's 4 pages on ghosts. 91. They were a banker. Oh, we need to have an appropriate name for a banker. Clement Pierce. That sounds like a banker's name. I feel like we need to flesh this ghost out. No pun intended. Can you give me 2 numbers out of 100? So that we can get a bit of more understanding about our ghost. So our ghost may not be in full control of their actions, either because they are not fully sentient or because rage and loss drive them to extremes. So let's see. 64 and 86. 64. So our ghost, our banker, Clement. Clement's pairs 64 is aggressive and seeks destruction, and they will manifest 86 as whispers on the wind. Roger, you've not filed your tax returns. What is their unfinished business? Again, a number out of 100, please. For some reason, I feel that my ghost sounded a little bit like Liam Neeson. I've got a particular set of skills. 11. I was going to say 1,111 is not a number out of 100. Clements wants to finish an epic poem, novel, or painting. And let's have a number out of 20. Let's finish this one off. This is great. This is good fun. I think this would actually be fun to do with the players around the table. You know, rolling up and just getting their involvement a little bit. 8. We find Clements in the wild woods. So Clements has an epic poem, novel, or painting. Maybe we find that in the woods. And again, there's lots of little call-outs dotted around. There's just so much information crammed into these pages, but none of it is in a format that is too much for you sort of to take in. Serial killers. Is this the character that is stalking a suburban house? Oh, goodness. So there is different kinds of ways that this serial killer might do their deed. We'll skip past that because this gets a little bit dark, but you know, it's a horror genre, isn't it? Got to be prepared for things like that. Things. I guess this makes me think of The Thing. Great movie. Things that you can't quite explain. The abysmal. An abysmal is a sludge from the ocean depths that dredges itself to surface, somehow imbued with unholy life. And then again, we have another lair. This happens to be in a lighthouse. And so again, I like how they have changed perspective. It's not a looking down view. We've got a side-on view here. Thing from the Black Lagoon. Yes. Oh, there we go. Yes. Demons. Got to have demons. And we can have different types of demons. Possession. Shape-changing. Pyrokinesis. cursed sorcery, demonic true names, and then finding a demon's true name. Oh, goodness me. I'm not going to say any of these because I do not want to bring in any bad luck. Haunted houses. Oh, and again, another fold out. Let's take a look. Oh, look at this. Isn't this great? Look at the art on that. So sinister means, key to destruction, former occupants, the type of building, the spectral dominion. God, this is so cool. Vampires. So you can see, yes, definitely, you could have vampires within your fantasy genre quite easily, couldn't you? Yeah. Slightly more medieval dress. Werebeasts, werewolves, werefoxes. Ah, yes, I like a werefox. Werefox looks cool. And then here we go. So I'm just going to call out some of these. These are GM intrusions, things that the GM can do to just pounce upon the players. So a character noticed dark fur growing on their body where none was before. Ooh. Another GM intrusion. After an encounter with a werefox in their fox form, the smell lingers on a character's clothing and hair, hindering any social tasks until they're able to bathe. A weird lion? A weird shark? Oh gosh, weird spider. Moving on. Moving on. That's the only horrific thing I've seen in this book so far. Killer toys. Oh. This is cool. We got killer toy names. We don't have Megan, but Megan should be a name, shouldn't it? Jinx the Clown, Mr. Bonkers, G.I. Gary, Brer Bear, Wilma the Wind Me Up Witch, Chucky, yes, yes. So that's cool. Oh, here we go. Killer toy catchphrases. Wind up and electronic toys might have a signature exclamation, such as Epic-tastic, Wonderblast. This is cool. This is so good. Okay, moving on to another genre, fairy tales. We did the fairy tale book a while ago, didn't we? And again, maybe you've noticed, but the colouring of the sections helps determine what genre you're in, and also they match the colours of the white books. So it's very easy for you to find and associate. So we got the purple theming for the fairy tale book. What might we have? Outlaws and fairies, satyrs, pirates, unicorns, magical wands, huntmasters, crafted creatures, witches and mermaids. Helps you see on the spine too. Yes, indeed it does. Yes, you can quite clearly see the divisions there. So we have whimsical elements, fairy tale villains, and then we go into the different creatures that we might meet, or characters. We got outlaws. We can have outlaw names: Rowan Hood, Whiskers in Boots, Peregrine Pan, Glenda the Grin, we got some fairies. I always think of fairies not as the nice Tinkerbell kind, but the vicious little piranha types. I think they're quite good fun. Satyrs. That Mr. Tongueless. Mr. Tongueless? Tongueless? Something like that. From The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, isn't it? Pirates. And we have another fold out. What might we have? We have pirate ships. And then pirate captains. But I guess this is pirates. This is more in the fairy tale vein. Hook. Hook. But of course, you could adapt it as you see fit. Unicorns. Magical winds. The north wind, the west wind. Huntmasters. Again, we've still got names, lots of names. Pharaon. Arwan. Jagur. Orion. Oakley. Crafted creatures. Brought to life like animation by the touch of magic, yearning and skill. Crafted creatures are composed of base materials, usually wood. Many resemble small people, children or animals. A few have carved vegetables for heads. So I guess this is Pinocchio, but it's also what's his name? Nightmare Before Christmas. But I suppose he's more, actually not. He's more an entity, isn't he? Oh, is it Jack? Witches. Golems. Yeah, it's not quite a golem though, is it? I guess golems are more, I suppose, rock and yeah. Let's just see. The crafted creatures are often built as a guard or companion. Many wish with all their absent hearts that they were real. Others have alternate crafting yearning driving them, which could not be benign. Some run from a fabled foe or would do a lot for someone who could offer protection. Though many are crafted of wood, several are made of different materials which can provide a specific benefit. So yes, we have marionette, snow maid, metallic toughness. Oh, so there you go, the Tin Man. The Tin Man and a Scarecrow. Yes, there you go, Scarecrow of Oz, yes. So yes, it's more that type of creature, isn't it, as opposed to, I was going to say, a traditional golem. Witches and witchcraft. And then we have a witch trove and a witch's house. And curse effects. You want to give us a number from 1 to 100 for what type of curse our poor hapless adventurers may face from this witch? There's quite a few. Three, okay. Turned into an animal. A bear, a toad, a hedgehog, a swan, or a dog. Oh, well, there you go. That's not too bad as long as your companions are prepared to help you along. Mermaids. Again, we have some good name suggestions. Let's have a quick. Ariel. Of course, you got to have Ariel, haven't you? Whisper. Finn. Pearl. Rusalka. Nada. Jax. A blend of fish and person, mermaids, and other mere folk are creatures of the sea whose allure is sometimes innocent but often hides a terrible hunger or fearsome goal. They're gonna eat you. Okay, so that's fairy tales. We then go to a modern genre setting. What might we be doing in a modern setting? Let's give me some numbers, please, Roger. I need a number out of 10, a number out of 20, and a number out of 10 again. So in modern games that never swerve into other genres, the list of potential creatures is composed of other people, plus maybe a lion, tiger, or bear to mix things up. That's not to say that mundane modern scenarios can't be just as exciting as those set in other genres. Lots of thrilling situations arise every day. And here we go. They make reference to one of their supplement books called First Responders. And I think that this is a book all about the heroism of everyday people that work in emergency services. Doctors, police, fire people, ambulance people. And what type of adventures that they might actually encounter. We'll maybe have to take a look at that. So 9 out of 10. So mundane but exciting. 9. Solve a locked room murder mystery involving stolen antiquities. Okay. Sometimes the normal slides into the uncanny. 4 out of 20. The area is much larger on the inside and doesn't appear on any map. Okay, sounds a little TARDIS-like. And 4 out of 10. Lots of people don't want to believe their own eyes. Reflected laser light. So the unexplainable explained. So there we go. That's interesting. So we'd have to solve a locked room murder mystery, which has antiquities. When we get on in, we find that the area is much larger on the inside, but actually, the way that we solve the mystery is it's reflected laser light, it's reflected light. So maybe it's clever mirrors and positioning of things, so it looks as if the room is much larger, and in fact, it isn't. That could make for an interesting little setup there for that one room. That's cool. What do we have? We have crime bosses, of course. And we do have details here on a criminal operation, legitimate business fronts. We have example of a crime boss safe house. We have some crime boss loot and names. A holodeck. I guess it's explaining it away, isn't it? What was think of it in a sort of, I suppose, a Mission Impossible style, or what was that show? Was it called Leverage? You know, where we'll have a team of experts trying to sort of kid somebody by falsely creating things. Maybe there's something along those lines. Or maybe our modern day setting does include the fantastical. Maybe it's like the TV show. Was it called oh gosh, Warehouse 13? Ancient artifacts from all of history and time that all have bizarre and magical properties that have to be housed away because they are dangerous out in the world. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Hackers would be in the modern day, wouldn't they? Secret agents. Assassins. So we can go down maybe a James Bond style here. bounty hunters, detectives, billionaires. There's always got to be some billionaire financing it all. And here we go. Our billionaire has a bunker. Billionaires in the news. It's quite cool. This is really good. It is wonderful, just the amount of detail they go into on each of these different types of characters or creatures. Again, just lots and lots of inspiration. This is what I really enjoy about these supplement books. You can find something in this book, and even if he wasn't using it particularly for a Cypher System game you're playing, there would be value for other games. You know, these books are so useful, so useful. Oh, science fiction. Okay, there's going to be plenty in here that we'll use. Again, a number out of 100, if you please. Let's see, speculative elements. What are we going to be looking for? What of our adventuring team going to find? What is going to be the story hook for this week's episode? 88. The sun begins to dim for no immediately obvious reason. It's Mr. Burns, isn't it? He puts a great big shield across the sun. Okay, so what do we have? We have robots. And let's do the fold out. Lots of different robots. Technician robots, companion robots, worker robots, nanny robots. Again, this nanny robot could potentially fit into the horror genre. We talked about Megan, didn't we? Infantry. Space troopers. Power armor-clad space troopers, hyped up on a cocktail of military drugs, overwhelming foes with a barrage of plasma rifle fire and other advanced weaponry. Space Marines. Black Star Rangers. Time Travelers. Different kinds of temporal schemes, reasons they time travel. Oh, here we go, this is a good one. A number out of 10, please. Why are our time travelers traveling time? Try saying that quickly. The Umbrella Academy, yes, well, it does give a different time traveling groups. The Temporal Guard, the Federal Bureau of Paradox Prevention, the Timekeepers. Sorry, it's out of 10, please. Well, let's just go with 6. Extracting resources no longer available in the future. What might they be taking? May they be taking whales? Could it be whales? Cyborgs. Aliens. Different types of alien appearance. Alien communication secrets. Alien abilities and activities. I love that. It's quite a cool image. Is this what he kind of looks like ordinarily? And then he puts on his human skin. But I like how he's looking out from his penthouse apartment. And he's got his nice piano there. That's quite cool. various AI, artificial intelligence. Post-humans. Bleeding edge genetic engineering, synthetic biology, and material sciences of the far future create a new class of person whose basic capacities radically exceed their progenitors. The future of mankind. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Again, you know, it's just providing a few extra points. We did look through the sci-fi supplement book, so there are obviously more creatures, more inspiration in there, but this gives you a good selection with some new ones to consider. Superheroes. Okay, here we go then. So we need some super villain backgrounds. All right, here we go. 3 numbers, please, out of 20. So we're going to have some super villain personality traits, super villain motivations, and super villain power origins. What type of villain might our heroes face? A 6, a 7, and a 2. Okay. Supervillain personality trait is they are calculating. Their motivation is to be noticed or feared. And their origin, infected with mutant fungus. Okay. We'll have to work out some kind of name for our supervillain. We have the Gadgeteer Mastermind. And we do have another fold out. We have a lair. We also have some options of different gadgets. Speedster supervillains. Like the Reverse Flash. Everyday criminals. Energy wielding supervillains. Strong Hulk-like supervillains. Monstrous. Insectoid. Animalistic. Fungoid. Rogue supervillains. This is cool. And then cosmic beings. These are incredibly powerful entities. We looked at post-apocalyptic just last week, didn't we? So we're already clued up on some of the creatures we might meet out in the wastelands. Again, we have another fold out. We have our radioactive bear. The glowing roaches. Cannibals. You don't want to meet a cannibal out in the wastelands. Mutants. Different kinds of creatures. Raiders and fell riders. Marauders. Zombies. Zombie hulks and sprinters. Gosh, there's a lot of zombies. Zombie sorcerer. Oh gosh. Warlords. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. And then Weird West. A Weird West setting combines familiar Western tropes with supernatural elements, blending an idealized version of the American Old West, including rugged landscapes, gunfights, gunslingers, with cryptids, magic, and otherworldly beings, forges a completely new setting. Characters in a Weird West setting can explore a frontier different and more fantastic than what the history books describe. I think this must be linking to Monte Cook's recent Kickstarter, because that had a Western vibe to it. I'll have to go and take a look. So they're ahead of the game here, including creatures in this book. That's cool. So what do we have? Cursed beasts, a jackalope, gunslingers, Jonah Hex, yeah, absolutely. Forgeborn, oh my goodness, look at that. Locomotum. It's like a steam engine transformer. Fleshmare. Deadshot. These are cool, I like these. And then various lawmen. Lawman catchphrases. We ride. There's a new sheriff in town. That's cool. Strange folk, the wild one. An owl white. I'm going to have to take a look at this in a bit more detail, because this is not a sort of setting I'm familiar with. Ghost Riders. Traditional Ghost Riders, not on a motorcycle. So there you go. That's it. This is an incredibly well put together bestiary. I really enjoy reading this and going through it. I think that as we've discussed, there's a lot of value to be had in this book, regardless of what system you are playing. I think there's inspiration that can be taken from it and put into any game and any setting. So definitely a welcome addition to the collection. So there we go. Of course, should say thank you so much to Monte Cook Games for providing the copy of the Cypher System Bestiary for us to take a look at. It is available on their website right now as a hardback book and also as a PDF. So next week we're going to continue with our exploration. We're going to be looking at something a little bit different. First of all, on Tuesday, press the wrong button. That's the button we want to press. On Tuesday, we're going to be taking a look at the giant book of battle mats from Loki Battle Mats. Regulars to the channel may remember that we did take a look at this quite some time ago, but this was a previous version. This is now their new revised copy. 62 pages of essential maps for tabletop role-playing. So we're going to take a look at that. But in addition, I also have a copy of their big box of dungeon doors. So this is getting some of the tools together to be able to do our combat actually on the table. And this is leading up to something that I'm very excited to share with you all in a week or so. It's imminent. It's imminent. So we're going to take a look at that on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we are continuing our exploration of the Cypher System supplement books. You already know which one we're going to be taking a look at. We are looking at Stay Alive. This is the horror genre supplement book for the Cypher System. So if you do not like the horror setting, this is not going to be the show for you. There will be instant spoilers and warnings at the beginning of that show for sure, because my goodness, it is not for the weak-hearted, I tell you that. But it is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We like to be scared just a little bit, don't we, hey? So yes, we're going to be taking a look at that on Thursday. Thank you, Roger, for joining me this evening and for your input. It was very much appreciated. If anybody does have any questions, please do leave a comment in the chat or in the comments below. I will do my best to answer that. Just leaves me to wish you all a fantastic weekend and look forward to seeing you next week. But until then, bye for now.